On episode 245 of the 40 Plus Fitness Podcast, we meet Michel Pascal and discuss his book, Meditation for Daily Stress, 10 Practices for Immediate Well-Being. You can find the full show notes for this episode at 40plusfitnesspodcast.com/245. Have you decided you're ready to make a change? To reclaim your health and fitness? The 40 Plus Fitness Podcast is here for you. I'm your host, Alan Meisner. I'm an NSAM certified personal trainer with a specialization in corrective exercise and fitness nutrition. Let me be your coach as you find your way on your health and fitness journey. All right, let's go. On the last episode, before we got started, I did make the announcement. I just wanted to repeat again this time. I will be cutting off application to my one-on-one program around May 10th so I can focus on my training for the Spartan. I wanted to really make sure that I'm in top peak condition for that. I'm running with my younger brother, and I don't want him to show me up. So I will be training pretty hard and putting a little extra time into my runs particularly, and I like to do that in the morning, which is when I would normally catch up on a lot of my personal training stuff. So I'm not going to have as much time to do that. So if you do want to come work with me, this is going to be your opportunity. I'll probably be off most of the summer on this. I'm not sure that I want to come back. I've got a lot of things going on, so I'm not sure when I'll be back to taking clients one-on-one. So if you've been kind of questioning whether you want to do this, let's get on the phone. Let's talk about it. So you can go to 40plusfitnesspodcast.com/train, and that'll take you to the application. You can go through the quick application process. It'll just take you a minute or so. We'll schedule a call and we'll find out if it works for you. But this is true live one-on-one training. I'll be helping you with your programming. We'll be talking about your food. We'll be talking about all the things that you need to hit your health and fitness goals. So if you're serious about getting in shape for this summer, this is your best opportunity to do it because I won't be taking any more clients after May 10th. So go to 40plusfitnesspodcast.com/train. Now, our guest today is a really cool guy. I really enjoyed the conversation I had with him. He's a French writer, meditation teacher, singer, photographer, and director of spiritual documentaries. Before he lived in the United States, he actually lived in a monastery in Nepal. So this guy, he lived with the people who put this stuff together, with the people who practice meditation. And it's really cool because we kind of break down some of the myths about what meditation is and what it isn't. The book he has is really awesome. It's got some practices in it. They're really good. And we actually go through one of the practices. I just have to caution you as we kind of go through that practice. If you're driving, please don't do that meditation while we're doing it because it is quite relaxing and I don't want you to lose control of the vehicle. So if you're driving or running or doing something like that, skip the meditation part that he does because it is really it's really cool and I want you to try it out, but not while you're doing those things. So our guest today is Michel Pascal, and I do want you to meet him. So we'll go right to that. So with no further ado, here's Michel. So Michel, welcome to 40 Plus Fitness.
Thank you so much, Alan. I am so happy to be in your show. Thank you so much.
No, thank you because, I work a very stressful job in addition to doing the podcast. So anytime I can get someone on to help me refocus my meditation practice because I'm not as good at keeping it up. And so when I do get a book like yours, it's a kind of one of those perfect opportunities for me to say, hey, now I've got these things I can practice. And it's going to make me a better podcaster because of it. So again, thank you for sharing this book with me and coming on to have a conversation about it.
Thank you so much, Alan, from my heart, really.
Now, and I think I had this too, so I'm not going to say that I'm above anything, is I think initially when people are first learning about meditation or hear about meditation, they kind of have this perception of what meditation they see on TV. And, you'll hear the monks that'll sit there and be able to change their body temperature to dry clothing on their skin, kind of documentaries, if you will, but not necessarily the reality of what meditation really is. So can you kind of go through some of those false ideas of what meditation is and then turn around and actually give us a definition? Because you've actually been in those monasteries. You've actually worked through the practices with the folks, that are of the lineage building this together. So I really am interested to hear your perspective on this.
Of course. I mean, there is something very important. It's what you say, Alan. We are educated in America with a wrong perception of meditation. Why? Because, for example, when we see documentaries about meditation, documentaries also in monasteries, The director and the team, they don't live in the monastery. The TV team, they come a few days, they make a few footage, and after they come back and to diffuse, to broadcast the documentary. And after millions people watch a documentary, and it's the same for any documentaries, because the TV team, they don't live in the monastery. They come like tourists. It's the same thing if I come as a tourist in America. If I stay 1 week in America, I don't know America. And I direct a documentary during 1 week. And after the world discover America through my opinion during 1 week. So it is like that also, that we have created a wrong cliché of the meditation. Also, when we see the beautiful girl sitting down in a lotus position, face to a lake with a singing bowl, it's not serious. It's not like that in an authentic meditation. And it's not serious because it helps no one. How can we say to someone who works 15 hours per day in a stressful job, probably like you, Alan, like million people, how can we say to someone like that, oh, my friend, your brain is running all time, you have worked 15 hours face to your computer, but now you must sit down and take a deep breath and be focused. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It is the same thing when I teach for manager at Google Corporate in New York, or when I teach for a prisoner in jail. A prisoner has a lot of PTSD, ADHD. How can we say to a child, to a prisoner, to a student in Harvard University where I teach, how can we say to someone now, you must be sitting down in a lotus position, take a deep breath, visualize? It's a blah blah. It's not efficient. So we are educated in America with this cliché of the meditation. But when we live in a monastery, what we live what we say. We live what we pray. We live what we do. So we discover in Tibetan language or in Sanskrit language, the etymology of meditation doesn't mean at all the cliché that we have in America. It means exactly I train my mind. I train my mind. So I must train my mind not outside of my life, not outside of my stress. Because if I train my mind, if I do any relaxation in a landscape, in a monastery, in a quiet room, it's beautiful. But when I come back to my daily life, when I come back Monday morning in my job, in the traffic, I am stressed again a few minutes after. It's like if you go in holidays, you lose the tan when you go back to your city. So, no, we train our mind in our daily stress. I train my mind face to my computer. When I am face to my computer, when I receive 500 emails per day, how can I use this time to train my mind to be more calm? How can I recycle all the stressful energy from my manager, from my co-workers? How can I recycle? How can I be more calm in the traffic? I teach for Uber drivers what we do. I can't say to an Uber driver, oh, my friend, stop to work and go to be sit down in a lotus position. It's not serious. So what we do, we go together on the freeway in Los Angeles at the rush hour. And I guide the Uber driver to be more calm when he drives. And after 1 or 2 sessions, the brain has understood the message. The brain gives the authorization to the body, to the subconscious, that yes, in my car, in the traffic, I can train my mind. I can be more calm. I remember one of the first days I teach in America for a manager for a big company. We can say the name. I have the authorization to say the name. It's Google. So this person is a big manager at Google. She was so stressed in New York. She cried. She said, Michel, I have tried many meditation. Nothing worked with me. I said, no, you have not tried meditation. You have tried blablatation. Blablatation, it's a blabla in meditation, because many teachers say to this person, oh, my friend, go in a yoga room, take a deep breath, be focused. She cries. She works 17 hours per day in her job. So she say, how can you help me? And I say, come with me in Times Square. She say, you are crazy, Michel, Times Square. This is the worst place of the world. I say, no, because in Times Square, if you touch your soul, in Times Square, if you are sitting down like a mountain, in Times Square, if you can dive inside your soul, if you can meditate like a dolphin, when the dolphins they dive in the ocean, if you can dive in your interior world, after you can go back to your job, you will be not stressed. And it works like that. So we need to train our mind in our daily stress, in our daily life. It is the reason why the cliche of the meditation that we see, it's old-fashioned now. It doesn't work because the world is more and more active. I imagine you, Alan, you must be very productive every day. You must be very intuitive, creative, active. How can you do that? If you are more calm in your job, because more we are calm, more we are active. More we are calm, more we have energy, more we upgrade our capacities in the brain. So it is the main difference between the fake meditation, the fantasy, the cliché. We can't live like a monk. We must be more concrete. So the difference between the blablatation, I say blablatation because it's a blabla, it's not concrete, it doesn't help. So when it's not concrete, for me, it's a blabla. For me, spirituality must be very concrete. And I was shocked when I was with His Holiness Dalai Lama or when I met my Rinpoche. They are extremely pragmatic, extremely concrete. And nothing is more pragmatic than a mystic. A real mystic is very pragmatic, but a fake mystic is not pragmatic at all. So for me, spirituality must be concrete. The survey is simple. If in my daily life, my brain is running all the time, my practice is not enough efficient. That's it. I can practice 10 hours of yoga per week, 10 hours of the survey, but in my daily life, if I have the capacity to recycle the energy, to be more calm in any situation, my practice is efficient.
And I think anyone would agree that the times that they've performed the best were when they were calm and had collected themselves in a way. And even though they may have been severely challenged at the moment, because they had that calmness, they were able to perform at their best and therefore weren't making the mistakes that they might have made if they weren't as calm. Now, each of the practices that you have in here, because you have 10 different meditation practices, but each of those practices is broken into 3 parts. You have a diagnostic portion, a visualization portion, and then the guidance. Could you go into what each of those items are and the purpose of each one?
There is 2 things. First step, there is a diagnostic. So diagnostic, it's so simple. If my brain is running all the time, I am stressed. When we are stressed, when we put electrode on the brain, I work with neuroscience since a lot of years, we know that you have a neurochemical addiction. Every emotion, it's an addiction. So we can be addicted to the peace, to the happiness, or to the stress. But day after day, we feed our emotions like addiction. So for example, if we are stressed today, tomorrow we will be more stressed. And next week and next year, more and more. It's an addiction. The first diagnostic, there is a moment we are fed up. We are fed up. We are fed up to be stressed. But the second step is there is the denial. We refuse. We refuse to say, oh, I am stressed. No, I am stressed. It's normal because everyone is stressed. No, everyone is sick. I mean, in America, according health department, 80% of America, we are just close the burnout. You know what is a burnout? It's a crash in the brain. So we refuse. And after, there is a third step. We realize we must practice something. We must do something. Because it's not possible to keep going on to be stressed day after day. So there is a practice. How we practice in meditation for daily stress. There is a point so important. The difference between when we talk about meditation and when we live in a monastery. In a monastery, we realize that meditation, that spirituality, it's a transmission of energy. It's a transmission. It's more than a tips. It's more than a technique. Me, I was shocked when I arrived in America 4 years ago, and American people, they say, oh, Michel, give me a tips. Like, how can I cook my tomatoes? No, it doesn't work. It's not because you say, oh, take a deep breath, visualize this color. It's not serious to say that. An authentic spirituality, it's a transmission. We give an energy to the person. When I teach every week phase 2 prisoners, how can we say to a prisoner, oh, my friend, take a deep breath, sit down, and he doesn't care. The same if you teach to the manager of Google. The same if you teach to a child who have ADHD. How can we say to a child, oh, my friend, take a deep breath, sit down? Everyone, we see it doesn't work. So what we do, me and all my team, my teacher certified, we give the power. The power in Tibetan, in Buddhism, means transfusion of consciousness. We give an energy to the person. We can make a test if you want, Alan. We can make a practice together, for example. And this is the best answer to your question. So imagine you are in your job, so stressed, lot of noises, lot of tensions. What we do in 1 minute. I snap 3 times and just we close our eyes. We are sitting down like a mountain. We are faced to our computer, but sitting down like a mountain. If we have some thought in our mind, we do nothing. Thoughts are like clouds in the sky. They move. So when we are sitting down like a mountain, we can feel the stability of the mountain. We can be more grounded. Face to our computer, we can be more calm, like a mountain. We can meditate, like a mountain. We visualize a mountain. We see the stability of the mountain, and we breathe in mentally the stability of the mountain. We breathe in the stability. We keep our breath. We keep the stability in our mind, and we exhale. We exhale the stability of the mountain in all our body. And we open our eyes. How do you feel, Alan?
Relaxed, very relaxed.
You see, we can be at the workplace and more calm. And more we are calm, better we work. Easier, faster we work. More we have result. In America, we are educated at the opposite of the goal. We think that more we will be stressed, more we will have energy. No. More we are stressed, more we are tired. More we are stressed, more we complain, more we are in chronic dissatisfaction. More we can fall down in a depression. But more you have calm, peace, more we have energy. I mean, to resume really all, if there is one thing that we need before all in our life, it's to be more calm. Not outside of our life, but inside our life, in the daily stress. I drive, but I am more calm. I work, but I am more calm in my workplace. Because when we do like that, we re-educate in the brain our cognitive process. We re-educate the perception of our life. My car, it's not the place I hate because I can be stressful in the traffic. My car, this is my refuge. Because my brain has really print after 2-3 sessions, 2-3 minutes like we did today together. My car becomes the place I can restore my energy. My workplace, my desk, my office, I like it now. I rediscover this is a place where I can restore my energy. So we change, in a few minutes, we change all the perception of our life. This is really meditation for daily stress.
Yes. Now, in the book, you have 10 practices, and I'm going to kind of blow the whistle here and say there's actually many more than that because you can mix and match these a little bit, and each one of these has kind of 4 different levels. So as you really start to explore the benefits of what any one of these would do for you, you're able to kind of get in a little deeper and get a little bit more benefit out of it. And even just for a minute or two as you're going through your day, which is, again, one of those things that I think the perception has been wrong that it has to be at least 10 minutes. It should be 20. And if you can do it for 30 minutes, even better. And that's partially true, but it doesn't have to be 30 minutes for you to get the success, get the benefits from it. But do you mind going through each of the 10 practices? I can call them out if that's easier, but I just want to kind of let folks know what each of these practices is about and what they can use it for.
Any practices in this book is to help us to be more calm immediately. So when you talk about the 20 or 30 minutes, it's the debate that I have all time with my friend Mathieu Ricard. I love Mathieu. Mathieu is an amazing star in spirituality. Mathieu is a speaker of His Holiness Dalai Lama. But many times I say, Mathieu, when you say you must meditate 30 minutes per day, try to explain that to a manager who works 17 hours per day. Try to explain that to a child who has ADHD. I mean, in theory, yes. In theory, all is possible in theory. But for me, it's not enough adapted to this world. So for me, we need to use any situation. I go to the restroom every 3 hours. The time that I spend in my restroom can be my meditation. I can recycle my toxin. When we go to restroom, we recycle the toxin. But I can visualize how I recycle my mental toxin. When I am in a Starbucks or in a coffee shop or in my workplace so stressful, I can meditate like a dolphin. I can go inside my heart. I can dive in my soul. There is a world outside, the stress, the tension in my life, but I have a world inside. I have a soul. So when we practice meditation like a dolphin, we breathe, we catch our breath, and we dive. We dive like a dolphin in the peace of the ocean, in the peace of our soul. Another example, when the brain is running all time, what can we do? We can meditate like a brainwave, flat. We can learn to unplug our brain to meditate like an horizon. I mean, every situation stressful become an amazing opportunity. My practice is to go in the traffic. My practice is to have a difficult meeting. Another practice that I teach many times, how are you? How many times we say to someone, how are you? So when we use how are you, it can be my mantra, because it can be the moment I am very present. If I say to you, Alan, how are you today? The how are you, it's from our heart, because we are present. So it's not a question to say after my day, I must spend 20, 30 minutes, 1 hour, because we know in neuroscience, when you go back to your daily life, you lose the benefit of the calm. According to Harvard University, they say to me that if you practice any relaxation outside of your stress, when you go back to your stress, 1 hour and a half after, you lose 93% of the benefit. So it creates an up and down, and it creates a damage in the brain, as say my friend Dr. Mario Beauregard, because if you practice relaxation, it's like an artificial pleasure. You upgrade your brain. But after you fall down, it's up and down. And more you practice the yo-yo of the up and down, more your brain, your subconsciousness feeds the wrong perception of the peace. Feeds, there is a time I can be quiet, and there is a time I must be stressed. It's a wrong perception of the life, because peace, it's like oxygen. It's like oxygen. It's anytime, anywhere. And there is not a time we breathe and another time we don't breathe. No, we breathe all the time. It's the same time. So it is the reason why those practices, and also all the videos, the audio guidance that people can see on my TV online, michelpascal.tv, all is free. You can download any practice, you can download any guidance, all is free, to help anyone to be more calm in the daily stress immediately.
That's cool. And you should go to that site and get those. And I'm assuming it's going to be very similar to what we did here on this episode a little earlier. What I like about this, though, is someone else is going to be having a stress that could be slightly different from my stress. You know, I might feel very busy during a given day and have 1,000 things I need to get done, like my taxes and pack for a trip and all those different things that are running through my mind at any given moment in time. But I have to stay focused on the task at hand. So sitting down just before this podcast, you know, I did the meditation number 3 that you have in the book, which is meditate like the wind in the desert. And I just found that the visualization and the breathing, just for a minute or two, gave me that kind of peace and gave me kind of the clarity. And the visualization helped me a great deal because I was able to not really have those other thoughts for that moment of time because I was really, you know, focused on the desert in that case. And then when we just did this one a little earlier, very focused on my visualization of what a mountain looked like. So again, I think, you know, with the dolphin, the desert, the sky, the kiss, the flower, all those are very easy concepts for us to kind of really get deep in our mind and kind of go through each of these practices. So beyond going to michelpascal.tv, where else would you want me to send people to learn more about you and learn more about the book?
I want to share with you an amazing news for all the people who follow your show, Alan. In California, 80% of parolees, they go back in jail. But in California, at Amity Foundation, since 3 years, I teach meditation for daily stress. 80% of parolees, they never go back in jail. They find a job. They rebuild their families. It's not a blah blah, it's a data. It's a data that we see at Amity Foundation since 3 years. So it's exceptional to see that, yes, with meditation for daily stress, we can re-educate the cognitive process of the worst person with violence and PTSD and drugs addiction and alcohol addiction. It works. It's not a hope. It doesn't take time. We see that every day at Amity Foundation. So what we say, the 80% of parolees never go back in jail. It's an amazing hope for everyone. To live is to choose. To live is to choose. I can choose today to be more stressed, but I can choose today, like you explained, Alan, to train my mind, not to the blablatation, but to train my mind before my taxes, for example. Me, I love to do my taxes. I'm serious. I love to do my taxes. It's a wonderful moment for me.
Okay, well, I'll send you mine next year, okay?
Please. No, my taxes is my practice. My taxes is my meditation teacher. Because before to do my taxes, I am sitting down like a mountain. And immediately my mind is more clear. So I am more present to my taxes. First, I do my taxes easier. But the second thing, when I am more calm, I am more present. So I realize that my money help a child to have a school, help someone to have an hospital, help someone to have a beautiful freeway. I mean, I realize the sense of my taxes, the sense of the energy from my heart that I give to give back to the community from my work, from my money. So suddenly my taxes become like an altruism practice. I rediscover my taxes. It's not, today my taxes. It's one more tax, one more chance to be more present to my daily stress.
Well, the book is Meditation for Daily Stress, 10 Practices for Immediate Well-Being. I'm going to have this sitting on the desk right next to me while I work on my taxes later this afternoon, because I'm sure I'm going to be turning to it a couple of times just for that little re-up of energy and calmness that you've taught us about today. This is going to be episode 245, so you can find the show notes for this at 40plusfitnesspodcast.com/245. So, Michel, thank you so much for sharing this book with us and for being on the show today.
Thank you so much, Alan. And if people want to follow me, they can go on michelpascal.tv or on my Twitter. We have 35,000 followers every day. And also I perform and I sing at the Carnegie Hall, October 17 in New York City. And I direct the meditation week for the daily stress in New York. So we will organize retreat in Times Square. In Penn Station, Grand Central, Central Park, in a Starbucks, in Bank of America, in many places. How can I be more calm in my daily life? Thank you so much, Alan, from all my heart.
Thank you. I don't know how you would go through that interview and not leave it just feeling very, very relaxed and in control of things. The meditation piece of it was awesome. The conversation was awesome. And if you enjoyed this episode, would you do me a favor and do someone else a favor and share this with them? Give them a little bit of relaxation today. Let them go through this episode, particularly where they can get that same thing that you got from it. So again, please do share this episode with your friends and family. Next time on the 40 Plus Fitness podcast, we meet Jeff Horowitz and discuss his book, Ageless Strength, Strong and Fit for a Lifetime. Until then, have a happy and healthy day.